everybody, it's Nosh, and welcome back to the channel. So, in this combat, we're going to fight the bridge fight over again, except this time we're using the partial armor system from man to man. And I've gone and rechecked a few rules just to make sure I'm following these things correctly. There's probably some corrections I could have made from last session. But point is, last session's combat lasted 15 rounds using the one armor size fits all parts of the body. This time we have everyone wearing various bits of armor with some areas exposed, like arms and legs. So let's see how this changes the outcome of this battle. Again, we're using the same map as before with our friends down here, Rogan the Reaver and John Falcon, protecting a temple area. And we have Fiendish Friedrich and Willem the Vile looking to plunder it. One of the things I did was, in changing the inventory and going into that partial armor system, the encumbrance levels changed for these various fighters. So John Falcon is actually going to be the character acting first. What I've done here is simply, under the speed column in the combat tracker, I've just simply put their move scores down. So John Falcon actually, so we will look at John Falcon here, and I've, as I said, I've simply updated his move score in the combat tracker, and what he's wearing now for armor is he's got, of course, his 10 bolts, he's got a pair of leather boots, he's got summer clothing on, he's got his crossbow, he's got leather gloves, a pot helm, a leather jacket, a large knife, and a quiver, small shield, and a short sword. And all of that totals 32 pounds, bringing him to light encumbrance level. Let's take a look at the next quickest, is Fiendish Friedrich. And so what I did with Fiendish was I kept his axe, gave him some boots, gave him a pot helm, kept his 2 large knives. His scale mail just now covers his torso, and he has his large shield, and that keeps him at heavy. Let's take a look at Rogan the Reaver. So Rogan drops in his encumbrance to light. Now, why does Fiendish go first? Well, again, I could roll a 1d6, and that's how they used to suggest doing it. Or no, correction. You would still look at who has the higher basic speed after accounting for the move score. And so Fiendish definitely has the highest basic speed. So what did we give Rogan for inventory now? So he's still got the thrusting bastard sword. His chainmail, however, is now covering his torso, and he's got sandal slippers and a small shield. So he drops down to light encumbrance. Willem the Vile gets slower in terms of his move. So he goes to heavy encumbrance, to a move of 3 and a dodge of 3. Why is that? Well, okay, he's got his crossbow, he's got his bolts, he's got leather gloves, his halberd, a pot helm, a large knife. But in his original image from 1985, he had plate armor on his legs. So that's what really brings his weight up. And his scale mail covers his chest, but he also now has scale mail on his arms. And he's got shoes. So his total weight carried is 91, which makes it heavy. I think that's the only changes I made to these combatants. So with that, let's get right into it, shall we? And we'll begin with John Falcon, who has a ready crossbow. So he is actually going to take an aim maneuver, and he is going to aim at Willem the Vile. So I'm going to go over here to effects. I'm going to drop the aim on John. One of the things I think I did last game that was incorrect was give him a bonus for the aim right off the bat. I can't remember. I'm doing this from memory right now, but no, because he takes aim now, he can get his ordinary level for firing that crossbow. If he doesn't take an aim maneuver, he's doing what's called a snapshot, and that is an automatic -4, unless, of course, Willem closes distance into his point-blank range target area. And that would give him a +4, offsetting that snapshot modifier for not aiming. So by taking an aim maneuver, John is going to be able to fire the crossbow at his basic trained level with the crossbow. Moving on, Fiendish Friedrich gets to go next. He's got a move of 5, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rogan the Reaver will close. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, and again, what he's going to do is wait for, well, that's a move, sorry. So he's doing a move. But what he would like to do is to have Fiendish have to come into range of his attack. So he is going to stay back here. He's going to be using his bastard sword at its 2 hex reach. And this brings us up to Willem the Vile. So I'm going to say that Willem already has his halberd ready, and he has it ready for a 3 hex swing, because or a 3 hex reach swing. But he's got a move of 3, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3. All right. So everyone has had a turn, and that is basically 1 second of combat that's gone down. Okay, so we come back to John Falcon, who continues to aim at Willem the Vile. And Fiendish Friedrich, he is going to move. There is no move and attack in man-to-man, so he can do is move up within range to strike with his axe. Rogan the Reaver, however, is going to take a step back, and he's going to attack. So I'm going to throw a step and attack onto him, so we know that's what he did. And okay, so this is where we get to take a look at Fiendish Friedrich, and what does he have technically for defenses here? He's got boots, he's got a pot helm, scale mail on the torso, and a shield large. So Rogan the Reaver is going to try to attack Fiendish's weapon arm, because that is unprotected. Okay, so what does he have to do that? So we're going to go over to modifiers, and we're going to go and look at what is the target down here. Well, that is going to be his weapon arm. So here it says weapon right arm. It could be the left. He was left-handed using a weapon. So I'm just going to add the -2 modifier. Okay. And we are going to see if Rogan can hit him. So I think I'm going to move the character box down. Well, we'll just cover up Willem for a while. He's so vile. We don't want to look at him. Okay, here we go. So dropping the dice onto Fiendish Friedrich. And success by 1. So he almost missed his arm. Okay, so we'll call up Fiendish, and Fiendish now has to decide, do I dodge this attack? Do I try to parry it, or do I try to block it? Well, he's going to try and block it, of course, because he doesn't want to make his axe unready by parrying with it. Although his dodge is higher than his block. And his passive defense from his shield will help him all the same. I think he should try and dodge this attack. So let's add the defensive bonus, the passive defense for his large shield. That gives him a +4, but he gets no other passive defense for armor. Let's see if he can dodge this attack on his weapon arm. And he succeeds by 2. Okay. Okay, so now it's Willem the Vile's turn. So Willem's going to go 1, 2, 3. And he's not quite in reach of Rogan the Reaver. Okay, so that constitutes another second of combat. John Falcon has now aimed for 2 turns. And so at this point, he would get a +1 to his skill. But what is his range to Willem? It is 6 yards, which I believe is beyond his point-blank range. If we go and take a look at John's character sheet, and we take a look at his inventory, and we pull up the crossbow, we'll find out here that the PB is 5 yards. The range increments are strength plus 5 yards. So his crossbow is based off his own strength of, I believe, 9. And but let me just double check that. I'm going to take a moment and look at that for a second. So John's range increment with this crossbow is basically 14 every 14 yards. And so because he's within 14 yards, but he's not within the 5 yards for the point blank range, John would be at a -1 to hit Willem the Vile here. So he's aimed for 1 turn, or sorry, for 2 turns, and that gives him a +1. The range is -1. So he would be shooting at basically his crossbow skill, which is 17. So I think he's going to try to hit Willem with a crossbow bolt to the chest, and because Willem's got scale mail all over his torso and his legs are heavily armored, so he's just going to do a body shot. So I'm going to take off the aim here, and he is going to he's basically going to attack. Now he's not doing a step-in attack because he can't move while he's been aiming. So we'll just give him to fire from this position. And let's see if he does it. I'm going to call up his crossbow, and we're going to put, well, there's no modifiers. It's just going to be a straight 17 onto Willem. And he succeeds by 1. Oh, that bolt almost missed. Okay, let's jump over to Willem. Okay, so what can Willem do here? We'll go over to his defenses tab. So he's got scale mail on his torso, which gives him a passive defensive +3. So he gets the +3, and he can't block because he has no shield. He can't parry a bolt. All he can do is dodge with his dodge of 3. So let's see if he dodges this shot. And he fails by 7. Okay. All right, so John, let's see, how much damage do you do? Do you actually puncture through that scale mail? And you do 5 points of impaling damage. So we're going to just jump back to Willem for a second. So his scale mail gives him a DR of 4. Okay. Remember that he has toughness of 1. So what does that mean? He's got a 5 DR. And sadly, that means that no damage got through that scale armor. So so basically the arrowhead maybe pierced the scale, but it sure as heck didn't pierce his skin. So maybe just a little tip of that bolt scratched the skin, but no damage. So Willem continues to be very lethal, and John Falcon, he has lost some precious time in this combat. Over to Fiendish Friedrich. So Fiendish Friedrich is going to step and attack Rogan the Reaver. Let's take a look at Rogan's defenses. So he's got chainmail on his torso. Is that all he's got? If we look at that original picture of him, he's very poorly armored. So he's got, just chainmail on his torso. So I think what Fiendish is going to do is he is going to try to hit. He's going to try to disarm Rogan by trying to hit him on the arm as well. So what's good for the goose is good for the proverbial gander. So we're going to drop a step and attack onto Fiendish so we know what he's doing. And we're going to put the modifier of target, which is the weapon arm. And let's see if he hits him. Oh, before I do that, he's got a negative, doesn't he? Because he's using his large shield. So we're going to give him that penalty. There we go. So he's at -4, actually. Let's see if he hits him. And success by 3. Okay. So Rogan the Reaver is going to have to try to defend against this. He's got no passive defense to his arms. And he has, however, his small shield. So he gets the passive defense for the shield. And he can try to block, but he's got a better dodge. Let's see if he dodges this. And he critically fails. All right. So you might be wondering, well, why didn't you try and parry? And that's because he had used his sword to attack. The bastard sword needs to be readied after an attack, and so he couldn't parry with it in the same turn. But this is probably going to be all for moot. So he tried to dodge, and he critically fails that dodge. So I think a critical fail on a dodge means that he automatically falls down. And that is precisely what happens. And that's a ruling that has not changed through all the editions as far as I know. So we're going to put the prone effect onto Rogan. And let's see what damage Fiendish does to his arm. So he does 7 cutting to the arm. Okay. Now, Rogan has he's got 2 points of DR. So we're going to put his DR 2 here. And that is going to be a major wound. Rogan's health is 12. This is over half his health in one blow, which means that his weapon arm is instantly crippled. But to also quote Bones from Star Trek, it's worse than that, Jim. He's also stunned because he took that crippling injury to his arm. So a number of cascading things are happening very quickly to Rogan the Reaver in this 3rd second of combat. So, first of all, well, we've already said he's prone. We can also indicate that he is stunned. We can also indicate that he has a crippled arm. And not only does he have a crippled arm, he has a dropped weapon. Look at the cascading effects from this devastating blow to his arm. So I'm not going to actually record this damage because I don't have anything set up to record like separate damage to the various body parts. Although, can I change that? Oh, I can. Ronky, you're wonderful. Ronky's the guy that does all the magic back here. So I'm going to just do arm. Yep. And so there he's got it all set up crippled arm. So we're going to apply that. And so, yeah, he's taken basically 6 points because any excess damage is lost. So we can just go to, well, no, that's over half. So we'll take the 7. I'm just wondering if this gets recorded somewhere on the character sheet that he's got that his arm has been hit. I'm not sure it does, but we'll go to combat and see what it says. Yeah, nope. Okay, so we're just going to note that Rogan is prone. He has a crippled arm. He's stunned, and he's dropped his sword. That was a devastating attack, no doubt about it. Which brings us to Rogan. So, Rogan can, even though he just got stunned, he can roll to try to recover from the stun because this is technically his very next turn. So, lucky for Rogan, he gets an opportunity to recover from the stun immediately. Let's roll his health. And he fails by 1, so he is going to continue to be stunned. Which brings Willem the Vile up. The bolt bounced into his scale and did nothing but tickle him. He is going to move. He is going to go 1. And let's see. Could that be a step and attack? Maybe that won't be a move. Maybe it'll be a step and attack. If he moves here, how far is he from Rogan? He's 3 yards. So he can do a step and attack on Rogan. Wow. Okay, I'm just going to remove that target, though, because he's not really targeting him in like a ranged weapon. So he does a step and attack. So I'm going to move that, put that into his onto his character. Well, now he's attacking somebody who's prone. Does that make any difference to his attack roll? Nope, not at all. In fact, there's no modifier for him attacking somebody who is lying down with a melee weapon. The difficulty is going to be for Rogan, who will be at a minus, -3 to any active defense. So Rogan's going to be at -7 to defend against this if Willem hits him. Will Willem hit him? Let's see. Melee, halberd, swing, bada swing, level 15. Success by 4. Okay, so we go over to poor Rogan. My God. All right, so it's an attack to his body. So he gets his DB bonus of his chainmail, or his passive defense, sorry. He also gets the passive defense of the shield. And I know what you're thinking. Well, if he's lying down, why does he get the passive defense of the shield? Well, that's a good question. But the point of the passive defense is that it's always there, regardless of whether you're doing something or not. But I can double check to see if somehow this would be minimized by him being prone. Now, there's an actual ruling here that says that your shield's passive defense, it protects against all attacks made while you are lying down. So, yeah, we're going to let him have it, because I think he's going to get it all the same. So he's got a +5 passive defense bonus to what? He can't parry. He can't really. I think all he can do is what? Attempt to block or dodge. One of those two. So I think we'll give him the dodge, as that's the best he's got. But remember, he's stunned, so he's going to have a -4 for being stunned. I don't know that I have that here. Yes, I do. And he is his position. He's lying down. So I think position lying down, maybe I didn't add that in, but it would be a -3 because he's lying down as he tries to dodge this. Oh, there it is, active defense penalty, crawling lying down. So he's at a -2 on his dodge of 5. And of course he fails. We knew he was going to fail that one. Well, he could have rolled a critical success, I guess. Damage time. Oh, 13 points of cutting damage. Ouch. So that's a major wound to his torso because that's his calculating his chainmail's DR of 4 plus his toughness of 2 for a DR of 6. So 10 points of cutting damage gets through to him. So what I'm going to do is remove the 7 because the arm is not the problem here. It's the torso that we need to account for. I'm going to apply this. He is immediately down to 1/3 his hit points, which is going to drop his dodge by half. And he's already stunned, so that continues to play into effect. And there's no shock penalties in man-to-man. So I think Rogan is about to perish. Okay, so that was Willem's attack. Now, Willem will have to take 2 turns to bring his halberd back into line if he wishes to attack again. New turn. Well, my. John Falcon, what should you do? I think what John Falcon is going to do is probably run away at this point. However, let's see how this plays out. So he's not targeting Willem anymore. I think what he's going to do is he is going to drop his crossbow and ready his short sword. So he'll do a step and ready, and he's going to step back and do that. Fiendish Friedrich, he is going to step back, and he is going to ready his axe because he needs to re-ready that. Re-ready. Why do I always say re-ready? He needs to ready that puppy after every attack. Okay. And Rogan is going to try to break his stun. And he succeeds by 2. So we're going to take the stun effect off of him. And he is going to, I think he wants to try to, what he wants to do is he wants to change posture into kneeling. So he's going to try to get up into a kneeling position at this point. Let's go for the change posture on him. Poor guy. Willem the Vile, he has to start to ready his halberd again. So he'll do a step and ready. And I think what he'll do is just, instead of stepping anywhere, he's just going to stay where he is. Okay, John Falcon is going to continue to be readying things and taking steps. So he is going to step back and start readying his shield. Now, his shield has a passive defense of 2. It's going to take him 2 turns to basically get the passive defense, to get the shield ready. So he'll continue to ready. Fiendish Friedrich had readied his axe. So he is going to step and attack Rogan. And we'll drop that step and attack there. Of course, I'm doing this for your benefit to see these maneuvers play out. If we were doing this together in real time, we would just be calling this stuff out. So he is going to step and attack Rogan. So let's see if he does it. Now, I'm going to give him that large shield penalty. Here we go. He's going to just attack his torso. And he succeeds by 1. So Rogan isn't stunned. Rogan is kneeling, so there'll be some modifier for him trying to defend from kneeling, but he gets the passive defense for his chainmail and for his shield. And if we go through here, we go to active defense, kneeling, sitting, it's -2. So we'll add that. And let's see if he can block this, because his dodge is lower now. And he fails by 6. So do your damage, Fiendish. This is on his torso. He does 6 points of cutting, which actually his armor and his toughness soak up. So no damage to our hero, Rogan the Reaver. It is now Rogan's turn. So he continues to change position by going into a standing position. So we're just going to keep that there. He can't use a weapon. At this point, I think all he can do is kind of do all the defenses. Willem the Vile is going to continue to ready his halberd for another swing. John Falcon is continuing to ready his shield, and he is now going to do a step and ready, coming to his friend's aid, perhaps. Fiendish Friedrich is going to have to ready his axe. So we'll drop another step and ready here, and he is going to take a step back to do that. Rogan the Reaver is now standing. So I'm going to take the prone off him, and we're going to take the change position off him. And we are going to, so basically he's now standing. Because his last change position was to stand, he is now going to take an all-out defense, which allows him to defend various attacks multiple times. But we'll look into that a bit more when we get there. But he is just reeling from his wounds here. The blood is gushing out of his chest from that nasty halberd strike, as well as this weapon arm dangling at his side. Okay, and Willem the Vile is now ready to attack. So we are going to drop the step and ready, and we will put a step and attack, although he doesn't have to step. So he is going to try to swing on Rogan again. And he gets a critical success. Oh my gosh. Rogan, buddy, it was just not your day from start to finish. You probably should have just walked down the path as soon as you saw these two show up. Critical hit. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. So, normal damage only. Yeah, it's always normal damage only for the most part. But you know what this means? This means that Rogan is automatically stunned once again, because critical hits have that effect. So he is going to be stunned right off the bat. So I'm just going to drop that on him. Okay. The other thing we have to look at for Rogan is, and because it was a critical hit, his all-out defense is worthless. So we also have to now do the damage. So normal damage only. Okay. Here's the damage. 2d plus 4 cutting. Gross. Okay, so he did 11 cutting damage. When we configure Rogan's DR, 7 injury gets through. That's a major wound. So he will have to roll to... Oh, guess what? I apply it. He's at -5 hit points. he automatically falls unconscious. So that's the rule in man-to-man. As soon as you get into negatives, you are out. So I am going to drop a body down, and we will continue this combat in a moment. So I've deleted Rogan from the combat tracker, and there is his poor remains lying there on the path. My gosh. Okay. I can zoom in a bit now. Okay. So that was Willem, and the action turns to John, who, seeing his friend fall, decides to go. He's got a move of 6. He's going to go 1, 2. I'm going to add a few points of movement to go through the bushes on the next hex. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's about as far as he can go. What he wants to do is get himself into this corner where he can defend himself a bit better. Okay, so that was his, basically he was moving. So Fiendish Friedrich has finished his ready of his axe. So he is going to move 5. So he's going to go 1. I'm not going to worry about this. I think he can move through this hex, no problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well, should we give him a little cost maybe to go through that body there? How about this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How about that? And Willem, he is going to move 1, 2, 3. Okay, here we go. We're on the sort of the start of the 8th second for John Falcon. So I'm going to say he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he gets himself back into this corner. We'll have him face that hex side. Fiendish Friedrich, he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yeah, maybe like 6 if he kind of pushes himself into here. No, he's got a move of 5. My apologies. Okay. And Willem is going to go 1, 2, 3. John Falcon, he has a short sword, he has a small shield, and he cannot reach Fiendish from this distance. John Falcon, however, is going to take an all-out defense, I think. Or should he step? No. What about if he takes a weight maneuver? Well, here's where a bit of metagaming comes in, because he could wait, and Fiendish could step forward, and he could try to attack him. But Fiendish has the higher speed between these two. Remember, I've modified this stuff up here for move scores. So Fiendish would still have the upper hand moving into that attack. I think that John is going to all-out defend. Why not? Okay. Fiendish Freed. He steps in to attack. So we'll just give it to him. He can step into this hex, throws himself through the bushes, and he will attack John. So we're going to give him the penalty for the large shield. And here we go. And he succeeds by 1. So with an all-out defense, if John misses, say, with his block, he can then try to parry. That's how that works. So let's see if he can do it. John, go to his defenses. So he's getting hit on the torso. He has a leather jacket. He has a small shield. And he has a parry of 8. And I don't think that axe is going to be more than 3 times the weight of his short sword. So let's see if he parries. And he fails by 1. So now we're going to try a second defense. So he gets the PD for the shield, the jacket, and he will try to block. No, he'll try to dodge. Sorry. And he fails by 5. Good grief. You know, it's the defenders here, it's just not their day. Friedrich does. Of course, he does 9 points of cutting damage, which is a major wound when you factor in the DR for the torso, the leather jacket, and the 1 point of toughness that he has for 3. So it's a major wound, and he's going to go right to 1/3 his hit points, and he will have to. Let's see. I do believe that's an automatic stunning. Yep. So because he took more than half his health in one blow, is that true? Did he take more? Yes, he did, because he hadn't been injured, and he took 9 points, and his health is 13. So half of that would be like 7-ish. Okay, so he is stunned automatically, and drop that there. Okay. Now I don't believe that he falls down. No. But at the beginning of his next turn, he can roll against his health to see if he recovers. Yeah. I stand corrected. If he fails his health check, he is going to fall down. So yeah, if you take a single wound that does damage of more than half your basic health score, you roll against your basic health. Yeah. Here we go. Can he do it? Drum roll, please. And he stays up on his feet. So he is stunned, but he is standing. There we go. Okay, and this brings us to Fiendish Friedrich, who is going to go 1, 2, 3, and he can change his facing by 1 hex side. I'm going to move the map over. I'm going to bring us in a little closer. He can change his hex spacing by 1 hex side. There we go. There is no move and attack, so his next attack will be a swing down onto John Falcon, who, you know, from this vantage point, he kind of looks like a young Obi-Wan Kenobi with a crossbow. I hadn't seen that before. Okay, so John Falcon, can you break the stun, buddy? Let's see. Success by 1. So he is not stunned anymore. Okay, so we're going to take that off. And he had taken all defense last time. It didn't really work for him very well. But guess what? He's taking it again because he's got 2 guys coming down on him. Okay, so that's his maneuver for this second. Fiendish Friedrich, he is going to change his facing by 1, and he's going to ready his axe. And Willem the Vile is going to swing that halberd down onto poor John Falcon. Let's see if he hits him. And success by 3. So John can move him over here. John can try to defend against this. So he's got his shield. He's got his leather armor on his top. And he's going to try to block. Yeah, because he's not, or no. Yeah, if he tries to parry, it could break his sword. So he's going to try to block this. He'll parry as a last-ditch defense. Oh, he failed by 4. Okay, so damage, please. Oh, well, that's the worst damage roll he could have made, but it still does 6 points of cutting damage. And yeah, so he's going to take 4 more points of injury. That's not enough to cause stunning, and there is no shock in the game. He is at 0 hit points. Oh boy. So at the beginning of his next turn, he will have to roll against health to stay conscious. Here we go. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, he blocked and that failed. Did I give him a second defense? I didn't, did I? Oh, such a putz. Okay, I'm going to retcon that very quickly. John, bring it back up, buddy. I'm sorry. You had the opportunity to try to parry this. So, shield, jacket, parry. Success by 4. Okay, folks, going to just retrograde this. So instead of taking the 4 points of damage, we'll put him back to 9. There we go. And we are going to, yeah. So he's still hanging on at 4 hit points. Yep, okay. Now, because he parried that heavier weapon, there's a 1 in 3 chance that he could, his sword could break because of the weight of that halberd. Let's see what happens here. So I'm going to just use the custom dice feature to get a D3. So this is a 1. He needs a 1. And this thing will break his sword. A 1 in 3 chance his short sword snaps as it parries this halberd. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm going to put a, well, do I have a broken weapon? It's probably just a dropped weapon at this point. I can make a broken weapon. Poor John Falcon. He's got a broken weapon. He's got a broken spirit. He's pretty soon going to have a broken body. Okay, so he's not stunned. He can still take an all-out defense and try to dodge and block. So he'll continue to all-out defend because what else does he have? I mean, he's got a large knife. You know what? To heck with it. He is going, oh, but look at the pathetic damage it does. Even if he tried to attack. Oh, my. All right. Okay. He is going to do a step. No, because, well, yeah, Civilum will have to re-ready his halberd. That's going to take a couple of turns. Fiendish will have had his turn to ready his axe. So, yeah, I think John will, he'll try an all-out defense. Yeah, okay. He'll keep doing that. Fine. Fiendish now has a ready axe. So, let's see here. He is going to, yeah, he will simply just do an attack on the body. So we'll add the -2. And success by 5. So John can try to block this. It's got the shield, the jacket, block of 5. And success by 0. Oh, lucky guy. He blocked it. Willem is going to have to ready. So I'm going to drop that so I don't forget about it. He's going to ready. He's not doing a step and ready, but he's just readying his weapon. Okay, new turn. So at this point, John is going to ready his. He's going to ready his knife, but guess what he's going to do? He is going to do a step and ready. I'm going to take that broken weapon away from him. And he is going to go into close combat with Fiendish Friedrich here. So we're going to move these guys like into this arrangement here, where they're both in the same hex. So we'll take the all defense off. Okay. Fiendish is going to have to ready his axe. So what he's going to do is he's going to step back into these bushes further to ready his axe. So I'm going to put that down as a step and ready. And oops, that's Willem. Okay. And Willem continues to ready his halberd, but he now has to take a step to maintain that distance, because he has to stay 3 hexes away. Okay, John still has his shield. He is going to go into close combat. He's going to step in here, and he's going to try to stab. He's going to try and stab Fiendish with his large knife. He's going to try to stab him in the weapon arm. Now, in close combat, your shield is a bit of a nuisance. So, with this initial step into close combat, the passive defense value of the shield for John is not going to affect this attack, but it will in future attacks in close combat. So he is going to go for that arm, which is a -2. So we'll go down to the target, which is the weapon arm. Let's see if he can hit that weapon arm. Let's see. Can I target Fiendish here? There. And success by 2. So it's possible that he's just slashed. Ooh. You know what? It's going to be a thrust. It's going to be a stab. 1d -2 impaling. So in close combat, he's going to basically, he goes in with that small shield, tries to push himself into the hex, and he's going to stab sort of upwards at Fiendish's weapon arm. Now, the shield that good old Fiendish has is going to provide its PD in this way. So does it hamper his ability to defend himself, though? That's a good question. Well, as I often forget, the only defense roll you can make in close combat is dodge. So what Fiendish could do is what's called a dodge and retreat. So this rule was in man-to-man. You've seen it continue through the various editions, but basically you can choose to dodge and retreat. So he would take a step back out of the hex and get a +3 to his defense roll. So that's one thing he could do, and that's one thing he shall do. So I will see if I can. Well, I'll just move him out of here. So he's going to do basically a step and dodge. So he's going to move out of that hex. He's going to get a +3 to his defense as he backs out of that hex. So we'll see if we can find that on here. I don't know that I've got that down in my long list of potential modifiers, but doesn't matter. We're going to give him a +3. This is to his dodge. So his dodge is 5. He still gets the PD bonus, though, for his shield. And he gets the PD for his torso. So he's got a +10. Good God. So he easily dodges that and steps out. Okay. But I thought that was a fairly good attempt by John to do something and not nothing. I just take that out. So that was a step and attack by John. So he had done a step and ready, a fiendish hat. So he has a ready axe, and he is going to chop at John Falcon. So here we go. Gets the -2 for the large shield. And success by 2. So John can, let's see, can't parry. Yeah, he could parry with a knife. Let's see, he could try to block. He's not in close combat. And he could do a dodge and retreat himself by adding 3 to his dodge would be 6. Let's see, that knife weighs what? It weighs 1 pound. And his axe weighs what? It weighs 4 pounds. So it's not 3 times more than the weight of the knife. He should be able to parry this with a 7. Okay. Well, let's see how he does. So he gets the defensive bonus for the shield, his jacket. He's going to try to parry with that value of 7. I think I'm right in all this. I think. Oh, and he just manages to parry it. Okay. All right. Willem the Vile has been readying for 2 seconds. He can now attack. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah. He can attack him. He'll be attacking from John's front hexes here. Okay. So let's see if he does it. We'll pull this over here for now. And success by 5. So John, he did not try to block that last attack. So John can try to block this. He did parry. He could do a dodge and retreat because he hasn't done that yet. That'd give him a better value than his block. So he's going to try that. He's going to step back. We're going to give him a +3 to his dodge of 3 for 6. But he gets to add his shield and his jacket. So let's see if he does it. And he succeeds by 2. Okay. Wow. Look at this. The combat's almost the same length as the other one, and here I thought this would be a much quicker combat. I think this is a far more fun combat, though. Okay, John Falcon, you have a ready knife. You have your shield. What are you going to do? You're going to go... Let's see. You're going to go 1, 2, and you're going to turn your attention to Willem the Vile. Fiendish Friedrich, you are going to take a step and ready. Willem the Vile, you are going to take a step back and ready. And you had it in a 3-yard grip. You're going to take a turn to drop it to a 2-yard grip. But you're still going to have to take another turn to bring that halberd back in line. John Falcon is going to take a step, and his knife has a reach of 1. He'll try and swing, or should he do... Yeah, you see now what's happened. He's kind of screwed himself here. If he takes that step and attack, this opens him up to attack from his side. Okay. Well, he could do a step and attack here and try to attack Fiendish's weapon arm. I think that's what he'll try and do. So we're going to go back to the target, which is the weapon arm. And we are going to see if he can swing that knife and attack that arm. And he succeeds by 3. So Fiendish can try to block this. So he's got his shield. He's got his... no armor on his arm. So this will be a block, or it could be a dodge. Dodge is better. Success by 0. Okay, so he just made it. Fiendish Friedrich's turn. So he is going to try to, let's see, hit. Technically, he is in Falcon's side X. Now, Falcon would have, I apologize for this, he would have turned to face this way as he moved for that step and attack. So Fiendish is going to try to hit him. So here we go, large shield penalty. I think Fiendish will just try to, again, hit the body. And succeeds by 4. So John is going to have to get the PD for the shield, leather jacket. He has not done a defense yet, so he could do it. He could do a dodge and retreat again, like so, giving him a +3. Would be a +6 to his dodge. Let's see if he does it. Success by 0. Okay. So Willem the Vile has... he has had 2 turns to ready for this. That's right. So he now has a reach of 2, which he did prepare for. So let's see if he hits John Falcon here. And that is a success by 8. So he, good old John here, is going to have to try to, he can't dodge. He's going to have to either, can't parry. Well, he could try, but I'm afraid that puppy's going to snap like a twig. Gosh. You know what? No, he's going to try and block. And success by 1. Okay. So, here we go. John Falcon. He is going to step and attack and try to hit that weapon arm again. I'm just going to put a -2 in here so we know what that is. So, here we go. Another attack. Weapon arm. And he succeeds by 1. Fiendish will have to gets his shield and he gets nothing else. He can try to dodge this. He can do a dodge and retreat, but no. Ooh, failed by 4. Should have done the dodge and retreat, buddy. Okay, so the damage John does with this is quite paltry. But if he rolls a 6, so this is against his arm, which has nothing, and he has no armor on his arms, and he has no, he's got no toughness. So it looks like only he did 1 point of damage. Okay, so that's 1 point of injury to the arm. I'm going to make that the arm. Okay. So let's just remember that that 1 point of injury is to his weapon arm. So it's a scratch-ish. So Fiendish will take a turn to re-ready his axe, but he's going to step back to do that. Willem the Vile is going to start to re-ready his halberd. I'm going to drop this in so I remember how many turns he's done. John Falcon is going to press his attack with another attack on that weapon arm. Why not? Success by 1. Okay. So, Fiendish, you are going to have to PD for that shield. And you blocked last turn and failed. No, you dodged last turn and failed. Isn't that what you did? Yeah. So you can try and block this. You can't parry, though. Success by 0. All right. Fiendish Friedrich's turn. So he had readied his weapon. So here we go. Another attack on John. And that's success by 1. So John, this is a new turn for John, where he's still acting in his new turn. So John can do a parry. So that's this shield, his leather jacket. And he can try to parry with his sword, or his knife, sorry. And he succeeds by 1. Okay. And Willem's going to continue to ready his halberd. John is going to try to slash at that arm again. So we'll put the -2 down here. And here we go. Success by 1. So Fiendish, you're going to have to, because this is you're still working on a new turn, you're going to get your shield and you're going to try to dodge this one. Failed by 5. Okay, so how much damage does he do with the swing? Oh, there we go. So again, this is 0. So 4 points get through. So he now has 5 points of damage to his arm. What is his health? I think his health is quite good. His health is 14. So 2 more points, and that arm is going to be crippled. Fiendish is going to take a turn to ready his axe. And Willem has finished readying. And he had his at a 2-yard reach. So he's going to basically do a step and attack. He's going to come in here like this, change the facing, and he is going to attack John from John's side hex, because John is facing this way right now. These are his front hexes. This attack's coming in from John's side hex. John will be at minus, I believe, 2 to defend against this attack. So let's see if he hits him. Success by 3. Okay. So John, let's see. What should John try to do? He, he wasn't attacked in his current turn. So he can try to do a dodge and retreat and go back into the bushes here. I'll give it to him. And that would give him a +3 to that dodge, but it'd still be at -2 because of the attack from the side hex. To try to parry. But again, he might break his weapon. I think he's going to try to. I think he's going to try to parry. Yeah. Yeah. Why not? His knife may survive. So what he's going to do is try to parry, and he will. Let's go down here. Defenses. So he gets his shield. He gets his. Ooh, does he get his shield though? Because that is not in his shield side hex. No, because that shield, passive defense from the shield, always protects you. Yeah. Oh no, it says it's just from your in front of you and your shield side. Okay, so no, that's not going to help him. We'll take that off. So he gets his leather jacket and his parry of 7 with his knife. Good luck to you. And fails by 8. Okay, so the damage that Vellum will do is bad enough. 10 points of cutting damage. That's against John's torso. So, yeah, so he is at -6. So John, sadly, is going to go down, just like his buddy. All right, well, look at that. That took 18 rounds, so I'm going to have to eat crow on that one. Well, you never know how these combats are going to go. Anyway, what did you think of the partial armor approach to man and the ability to attack some of the unarmored pieces and bits of these combatants? Anyway, thank you so much for watching.